right, guys, I'm off and running. Like I usually say, this is a public service announcement. To put it another way, this is my Paul Revere Act. The British are coming. This is my Weatherman Act. A hurricane is coming. Are you getting my drift where this is going? Look at the text here. You see what this says? This is a heads up. Just down below it says, America is in deep shit, and that's a fact, Jack. Let me scroll up a little. Try this on. If you are a human being, right? Short, tall, black, white, it doesn't matter. If you're a human being, and if you live anywhere within America's border, make no mistake about it, you will be affected. You will be one of the dominoes that goes down. All right? All right? It says below it, if you ignore this heads up, the old saying is, you snooze, you lose. I copied a part of a video that elaborates how you will lose. All right? Hang on, I'm going to lay it on you. You know, like they say, a word to the wise is sufficient. Let me lay it on you. All right, I'm going to turn this guy loose. Listen carefully, because this guy's not full of shit. He knows what he's talking about. All right? I'm going to fire it up. Hang in there.
That these analysts at Goldman Sachs are now predicting that the U.S. economy is going to lose $90 billion this year alone because foreigners don't want to come over here anymore for vacation. And the reason, of course, is 100% because of Donald Trump. Most of these people, according to this analysis, don't want to come over here because they're worried about Donald Trump's, border crossing policies, even for people legally here on travel visas, right? Like, we're coming for 2 weeks to go to Disney World. It's going to be so much fun. They're now not doing that because Trump may just send us right back. Or he may not let us out of customs at the airport. They may keep us there for days. They may put us in detention, which, for the record, has happened to tourists. Tourists from Europe this year, since Trump took office, trying to just come to the United States for leisure. Some of them have been detained for weeks. Now, those horror stories aren't necessarily told by the U.S. media, but you know where they are told? Literally everywhere else around the globe. So you may not see it when you turn on media here in the United States, but they do. And it scares the hell out of them, to the point where they are now canceling trips, flights from Canada to the United States in the last couple months have seen a 70% decline in bookings. 70% reduction in people flying from Canada to the United States. The trade war is turning people off as well. Some people just dislike Donald Trump and his policies so much, they're not worried about the immigration thing, but they say, screw this guy. I'm not going to go visit this country while this wannabe fascist tyrant is sitting in the White House. I'll put it off. Maybe we'll go to Vegas in 4 years when somebody else is in the White House. Maybe we'll finally make that trip to the top of the Empire State Building in 2029. But we're not going to do it now. That is what these people are saying. Hotels have already noticed, some hotel groups, the big groups that own most of the hotels, have reported a 25% drop in bookings from European travelers. $20 billion in retail spending from international visitors is now at risk. And overall $90 billion for the U.S. economy is projected to be lost. So what happens when the economy loses tens of billions of dollars in a short period of time? people lose their jobs. If hotels don't have as many people checking in, you don't need as many members of the bell staff. You don't need as many valets. You don't need as many cooks. You don't need as many maids. So people start getting laid off. And then those people that were working those jobs, especially if you're talking about an area like where I live in Florida, tourism is our number one industry. Las Vegas, I was just there a couple weeks ago. That city's dead. If you watch any, reels on Instagram or posts on TikTok of the people in Vegas, you will see like it is way below where it usually is. That is crazy. But now it makes sense. So we're losing money. First you lose the money, then you lose the jobs, then the money that those people who lost their jobs would be spending in the local economy, that dries up, more layoffs, more such and such. That is how the cycle goes. And as always, it's important to remember that this is 100% because of Donald Trump. Thanks for